Hello there, we're at Haydock Park today for the official press conference for the Betfred Men's and Women's Challenge Cup Final, which is at Wembley on Saturday. But we're also here to pay tribute to one of Rugby League's greatest ever players.
Oh, he's stuck under them, Burrow, and he's outstripped Wellens. It's a brilliant Burrow try, a fantastic Rob Burrow try.
That try was from the 2011 Grand Final. He won 8 Grand Finals in total, 3 World Club Challenges, 2 Challenge Cups. But since retirement, Rob proved he was a warrior on and off the pitch, fighting M&D so bravely and helping to raise millions and awareness of this cruel disease. There are 3 games on Saturday: St Helens versus Rob's old club Leeds in the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup, Warrington versus Wigan in the Betfred Men's Challenge Cup, and Wakefield versus Sheffield in the 1895 Cup. Rugby League will make sure there is a fitting tribute to Rob on Saturday.
So we'll have a minute's silence before each of the 2 Betfred Challenge Cup finals, the men and women's game. And then on the 7th minute of all 4 games we've got on Saturday, we'll be doing a minute's applause for everybody in the stadium to honour Rob's legacy.
And what is Rob's legacy?
Look at what he did on the field, but then also look at how he has fought such a horrible disease. And, you know, words can't do him justice really in terms of how much of a warrior, how much of a superhero and an inspiration, I guess, he has been for people on the field, but also off the field. We've just heard Caitlin Beavers now, who will play in her 2nd Betfred Challenge Cup Women's Final, talking about being a youngster and playing halfback because she wanted to be like Rob Burrow. And you know, you can't put a value on that. A massive hole in everybody's hearts this week and for the future.
It's going to be an emotional day for all, but especially the Leeds Rhinos, who play St Helens in the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup Final.
I think he epitomised everything that Leeds Rhinos are about and the rugby league community, and I think that's why everyone is so taken aback and, you know, grieving the loss of him. I think, you know, resilient, courageous, brave, but like above all else, just a top man.
A brilliant player on the pitch, and then since retirement, he's been incredible in his fight against M&D.
Yeah, a brilliant player on the pitch. We all know how talented he was, and how resilient he was. He obviously, you know, did things that people just didn't think was possible. And I think, you know, the things that he's done off the field and his diagnosis with MND is very similar in terms of being so open and outward with his family to make sure that we raise awareness and raise funds. And I think that, you know, this period's going to be really difficult for the rugby league family, but also the MND community, and just thinking about everyone that affects, and just really proud of Rob as a Leeds Rhinos legend and the person that he was for raising that awareness and how much of a difference he's made.
How tough is it going to be for you and the squad this week?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough week. Obviously, we've got a job to do, but we will be reflecting on Rob. You know, the highs that he's had in this competition and that we're going to play in, the memories that he's created for fans, which is why, you know, he's going to be so missed by so many. And you know, we'll make sure we reflect and we think of him.
Rugby league is very much a family, and Rob's loss is felt amongst everybody.
You know, I was fortunate enough to work with him as a young man and see what he's done in the game, and then to see how courageous he's been in his battle with MND. He's inspirational. An inspirational young man. His parents did a wonderful job with him, and then he became a fantastic parent and an iconic figure. And you know, I was sat with my wife yesterday when the news came through, and she just burst out crying. And that's the sort of impact he had on everybody, I think. And his journey was a really tough one. He's at peace now, but he'll be inspirational to people for many years to come.
You gave him his full debut when you were at Leeds. How good was he as a kid?
Yeah, I saw him as a scholarship player when I was still playing, and I thought, you know, we were playing touch and pass, and I thought this kid's a bit small, and then he went bang, and it was like, wow, he could be anything, and he turned out to be that player. You know, just phenomenal player. Him and Jason Robinson are the 2 players that to come to mind with the ability to beat people in a very small piece of space. And yeah, I coached him at academy and then coached him when I was head coach at Leeds. Just an unbelievable talent with a huge spirit. And if you're going to want to model yourself on anybody as a person, then he'd be right up there.
I think it's a great time to also reflect and celebrate some of the amazing progress he's made, raising awareness, and I think they laid the first brick today in Leeds for the new centre that they're building. So, whilst it's tragic news, it's also a time to reflect and celebrate, what an impact he's had on so many people over the last 4.5 years.
Because unfortunately, you know how cruel this disease is, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it really is a tragic disease. It really don't discriminate, and there's only one outcome at the end of it all. We don't know the cure, so we can't find the remedy for it. And let's hope that all the hard work that Rob and his great friends have done, and his foundation can help get us closer to that cure that we're all looking for. Because it's an awful disease to go through, and so our condolences, and everyone's condolences are with the Burrow family and all his wider friends.
How good a player was he?
Oh, he was great, wasn't he? He defied the laws of physics, right? He was so small and light, but he made up for that with cheekiness and speed and agility. He had great skill and a good eye for the game. So he was such a great player. He so much success over his career, and he's just a good personality to be around as well. So we should celebrate those great moments from Rob. And people often ask who's the hardest player. The toughest player I've ever played against. Well, Rob's in the top 3 because it's tough to get hold of. You could never tackle him. He's duck underneath you, could make you look silly. So he's one of those special players.
Really sad for his family and his kids. Really sad for the sport. And yeah, I was fortunate enough to play against Rob, and what a player he was. What a player. Obviously lost his fight with MND, but send him my love and my regards to his family.
How good a player was he?
So sharp, so good. I'm smiling. I remember how nervous he used to make me field defending around him. He was just so good and electric, and one a generation player really. I think there's nothing been like him since, and I don't think we'll ever see it again.
And we're going to pay tribute to him on Saturday, aren't we?
100%. It's the least he deserves. He's been great for the game, but just an inspiration with what he's gone through and what he dealt with. So sad day for rugby league, but I'm sure we'll support him really well.
Yeah, terribly sad. I send my thoughts to his family, but I think on such an iconic week in rugby league, in the Challenge Cup, we're celebrating an iconic player, person, should I say. He'll remember for a lot of the things he did on the field, but I think since his diagnosis, what people think about him has just probably gone up tenfold. He's an iconic man, and the way he's spread the awareness of his disease, why he's had the trouble himself, is absolutely outstanding. So I think the way people remember him will be, as a great bloke, but not also.
What was he like to play against?
I've said it many a times. You could have a 6'6" bloke, 20 stone running, I'd rather have them than Rob Burrow. Very difficult to play against. He was fast, and when the game got very fatigued, it put you under a lot of pressure. And someone I admired, someone who won a lot of trophies, part of a generation at Leeds where there was, very hard to play against, and just a very difficult player.
He's such an inspirational character. The way he's fought the illness, and it's a real sad day, but I feel like you can look back on his the last couple of years, and it's inspirational what he's done for the MND community, and everyone in the rugby league community. He's a legend as a player, and he's a hero of a guy, and I think that's how he'll be remembered.
Even the way he played it, obviously the smallest guy on the field, but quite often the most exciting, the most competitive. So that's how he lived his life, and that'll be part of his legacy, and I'm sure something that his family take great inspiration from. And I've mentioned before that not often is there a picture up of opposition players up at Wigan, but outside our team room is a picture of Rob and Kev, and our hearts go out to everyone around Rob at the moment, and hopefully the weekend can do him and the charity proud.
Will you and your squad try and take inspiration from him this week?
I think we will do, yeah. I mean, it's not something we'll just speak about this week. Kev Seinfeld was in not long ago, and as I mentioned, the pitch up on the wall. So it is something that we talk about, just because I think it symbolises that the connection of a team runs deeper than on the field, and it runs deeper than just during your playing career. So there's a lot to learn from Rob and his teammates and his family.
I think the whole of the rugby league family, but not just rugby league family, the outpouring of love and well wishes for all of Rob's family, I think, has been incredible and heartwarming to see. And look, Rob was such a hero of mine. He was someone who, growing up and following the game, he was just outstanding. I was always quite a small player, and to see what he achieved, despite being one of the smaller players, he was pound for pound one of the strongest and most skillful players I think we'll ever see on a rugby field. So yeah, it's really sad news, but also heartwarming to see all the love and outcry for him.
A legend on and off the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the honour of having an England shirt presented by Rob and Lindsay in the World Cup, and it's one of the most special moments of my career, I think, being presented with that shirt because of what it meant, receiving that from Rob, the inspiration that he's provided to me personally, but to the whole team as well, in terms of how he faces adversity. I just think he's incredible, and what he's done for the MND community, despite going through the worst time in his life and his family's life, I think it's something he can be incredibly proud of, and all his friends and family can be incredibly proud of.
Well, we all knew it was coming, but when it actually comes, it's even worse. We all know about his rugby league career, and it was a fantastic career, but more important than that is the man himself, the way he conducted himself when he knew he'd got the illness. A very, very brave man, and my condolences to the family. It's such a sad time. I mean, I can't even think of a worse disease to have, and he'll be greatly missed by the fans and his family. It's tragic.
Rob Burrow won 2 Challenge Cups, and this Saturday we have an intriguing Betfred Men's Challenge Cup final. How big is Saturday for Wigan Warriors?
It's big. It's big. We're going to enjoy it. It's another day in our history. It's another day in our journey together as a team, and I hope it goes really well. We'll be working our absolute hardest that it goes well, but we're going to enjoy it and we're going to embrace it. And days like this, things can happen. It won't be straightforward, and I feel we're well prepared, but we come up against a strong, motivated, well prepared team as well. So I look forward to the challenge immensely, and it's another experience with this group of people.
You did it 2 years ago, but that was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So how good is it to be back at Wembley?
I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's new, it's fresh. Some similarities with the trip down, etc. But it's a different field, it's a different arena, historical arena, and one I feel privileged for myself and the team to walk out at. So yeah, there'll be a lot of history and nostalgia around the game, but ultimately it's who can perform.
And what would it mean to do it again?
Yeah, I mean, the motivation for us is always the memories. A lot of people travelling down there who we care about, and to create moments, special moments for them to enjoy is amazing. And if you get the chance to do that, then no one can ever take those memories away from you. So it's a trophy. It's a big day for the club, but attached to that is a lot of people we care about.
You'd hold all 4 trophies if you wouldn't. That'd be pretty special, wouldn't it?
It has a nice ring to it, but you don't get any of these trophies by talking about them. You've just got to work hard each day, and that's what we'll do. We've got important training week, and want to get our travel right, and hopefully if we do that, then the performance happens and people can say nice things about us afterwards. It's not something we put up as a massive goal. We never have. We want to play our best rugby for our friends and families, and for our supporters, and for our town.
Saturday, you've got a Challenge Cup final in your first season as coach. How good is that?
Yeah, it's great. We're it's the start of the year has gone well for us. We set that with a great pre-season, but it's the first sort of time of the year where we're going to play for something properly. First time we play for a trophy. Great occasion. It's a great week at Wembley. Hopefully, I think they're going to be a great crowd there. There's so many different things happening on there as well. Obviously, we're celebrating Rob Burrow and his achievements and service to the game and everything. But also, 3 other games on that day is the Women's Challenge Cup, there's the men's, there's the schools final, and then there's the 1895. So it's going to be a great carnival of rugby league, and we're just thrilled that we're a part of that.
And how tough is it going to be against this Wigan side?
Yeah, well, they are the champions, the world champions that won the Super League last year. I think they won in 2022 was the last time they won Challenge Cup. So they are the benchmark for every team. You know, that's okay. We understand that. We know what they bring. They're a highly competitive team with some great players, some absolute X factor players. So, it's going to be a big day, but we'll tackle it with the same ferocity we do every week. Get well prepared and try and get our best performance on the field.
How much are you looking forward to leading the team out at Wembley?
Yeah, well, it's different now. We're not a player, so you can't really influence the game in that respect. But it'd be a nice moment to soak up, and I'll enjoy that. The walk out onto the stadium. Hopefully it'll be like I said, it'll be a full stadium, and we can sort of feel that emotion in the ground and get a performance out there.
And what would it mean if you could win the Betfred Challenge Cup?
That'd be great. That'd be great. But we understand the challenge. There's a Wigan side on the other side of the dressing rooms are equally as motivated. So we know the challenge. So when I lift it, then I'll start thinking about it then. So until then, I'm eyes on the job and trying to get the team ready for it.
But you must be quite pleased with things so far.
Yeah, as I said, I'm happy with them. We're definitely improving. I think our game's maturing as we step through the year. We're only in our infancy as a new team, a new structure and everything. So I think we're about 15 games in. So another 15 games. We're just going to continually get better and grow, learn about each other, find out what works well for us. So this weekend will be another chance for us to improve and on a bigger stage against a great side, and we'll really see where we are this weekend.
It will be a very emotional occasion on Saturday. 3 champions will be crowned and 1 legend will be remembered.
And he's outstripped Wellens. It's a brilliant Burrow try. A fantastic Rob Burrow try.